Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today on Around Kansas, we start with the mystery of a murderous clan from Cherryvale, the Bloody Benders. Next, meet Mitch Holthus, the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs and a Kansan who has earned many accolades during his lifelong career in sports reporting. Then enjoy a poem from Ron Wilson, and we'll end with news about Little Jerusalem, the iconic chalk formation southwest of Oakley. Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road. It's Wednesday morning. I'm Frank.
I'm Deb.
And this is Around Kansas. Thanks for joining us today.
Here we are in the middle of November.
Oh, no, already.
Already, and getting ready for Thanksgiving. Yeah, like starving myself so I can hold it all when Thanksgiving comes around. So people are sharing recipes like crazy all over Facebook, your favorite pie recipe, and all the pumpkin pies. And of course, back home, it was sweet potato pie was more popular than pumpkin pie. And my sister Denise makes the best sweet potato pie. Mama and Granny and my aunts make sweet potato pie. My sister can do it just as good, if not better. And I can't. For whatever reason, I didn't get it. But I was telling somebody the other day, we raised white sweet potatoes. So you don't get those around here. And I have ordered them a few times so I could make things like we grew up with, sweet potato sonker and sweet potato pie. So they order them, if you go to Hy-Vee's or Dillon's or whatever, they order them from Mississippi. So I kid you not, you get this big box of white sweet potatoes, and there's this little tag inside that these have been inspected and are certified to have been grown in a weevil-free zone of Mississippi. And it's signed by the veterinarian who's like the state ag guy or something. And it's just hilarious. I saved the tag, it's just so funny.
I mean, I've never seen white sweet potatoes. So you remember here several weeks ago when you brought all those gourds and all of that?
Yeah, have I heard about that one?
Okay,
yeah.
Well, bring some sweet. I mean, we got to see these because I'm sure a lot of people watching saying, what?
And I'll share a recipe for sweet potato sonker, because sonker is like a mountain dish that's not made everywhere. It's kind of a deep dish pie. It's similar to a cobbler, but not exactly the same. But my former alter ego, Dixie Lee Jackson, made sweet potato sonker at the library a few years ago, and it was very well received. It's good. It's good.
Okay, we're going to see white sweet potatoes one of these days.
You can't pay for this kind of education. I mean, really, where else are you going to get this? Public TV doesn't even do all the educational programming we do on Around Kansas, do they, Frank?
No, but I think they monitor us, and probably next week there will be a story on white sweet potatoes discovered in Kansas.
Yeah, they're probably scooping us as we speak, won't they? Yeah, really?
No, not that. That wasn't nice to say.
That's okay. They're all friends. It's all right. We're all in the same business, floating the same boat. So I watch them. They watch us. In fact, the guys from Smoky Hill TV follow me around. We're always running into each other, and they're like, yes, we follow you to see what you do.
So they're going to do a story on white sweet potatoes.
They probably will. Yeah. They're great guys.
We've got a story coming up, so we'll be back.
KFRM is one of the largest farm radio stations in the nation, dedicated to informing and entertaining rural listeners from northern Oklahoma to southwestern Nebraska. You can catch KFRM in many ways. Of course, 550 on the AM dial, streaming at kfrm.com, or on your smartphone by going to the TuneIn Radio app, or on Ag AM in Kansas on Tuesdays and Facebook every day of the week. KFRM, tune us in. You'll be glad you did.
Lecompton. The name was splashed across newspapers throughout America and Europe. It was debated in the halls of Congress. Lecompton interprets its unique territorial history with 2 museums and other sites. Events throughout the year celebrate history and community. Visit the Territorial Capitol Museum, where more than 70 trees are displayed with thousands of antique and vintage ornaments, and be sure to stop in the gift shops in both Lecompton museums. Spend the day in historic Lecompton, shopping, eating, savoring the rich history.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life. Back again. So, this next story, we maybe should have done it around Halloween because these people were really creepy.
They were creepy. They were creepy. The Bloody Benders, as they became known, the Bender family, sort of one of those Kansas mysteries. Mysteries of the American West sort of disappeared, serial killers who disappeared. But that story is just among the annals of the West, and it's been told and retold. There was an article in True West magazine, I think, True West or Wild West, I'm sorry, I read them both and I can't remember which one, that the Benders may have fled Kansas after they were caught up with, and found out they were killing people, and moved to Colorado and not even changed their names. Because what better way to hide than in plain sight? And so there was an article not too long ago, last year, I think, that with that proposition that maybe they didn't even change their names. And honestly, they were so nuts that may be true. They would rival any story in modern America, wouldn't they? Sadly.
Well, I mean, if you've ever seen the Broadway show Sweeney Todd,
Yeah,
this is just about that bad.
it is. It really is.
I mean, wonk on the head. Anyway.
But what a great movie idea! Just like Sweeney
Yeah, there
Todd,
we
what a
go.
great movie idea! And somebody's gone and done it. Let's take a look. The Bloody Benders of Cherryvale have been a staple of Western lore since they disappeared into the night, leaving behind the bodies of their victims. The murderous clan offered travelers a meal, then murdered and robbed them. When they realized the law was closing in, they simply vanished. The subject of many documentaries and the plot for several Western TV shows, the Benders have stirred the imagination for more than 100 years. The latest telling of the saga is the feature film Bender. Directed by John Alexander and written by John Alexander and J.C. Guest, this is the true story of the Bloody Benders, America's first serial killing family. The year is 1873, and travelers are mysteriously vanishing on the Kansas frontier. The troubled Dr. York goes searching for answers and stumbles upon the Benders, a homesteading family with an unnatural way of living off the land. As the elders of the family vie for dominance, their daughter Kate draws upon her supposed supernatural powers to will a better future, and a peculiar young boy is reared in the family trade. But unexpected visitors could threaten their seemingly quiet homestead. Director John Alexander is a filmmaker from the USA, and Bender is his first feature film. He edited Running Wild, 2015, starring Alden Ehrenreich, and interned with director Sam Raimi on Drag Me to Hell, Cannes, 2009. He graduated from Harvard University and is currently in production on a feature music documentary about unsung soul legend Rudy Love. The cast includes John Monastero, Bruce Davison, Linda Pearl, Nicole Jelen, Grace McKinney, Buck Taylor, Chance Caden, Leslie Woodies, and James Caron. The film has had screenings in Kansas and is making the circuit of film festivals to critical acclaim.
Buffalo Bill Cody earned his legendary title in Oakley. Bring the family and come celebrate Oakley's pioneering history and unique geography at two sites, the Buffalo Bill Cultural Center and the Fick Fossil Museum. Cody's statue marks his achievements and welcomes visitors to the Cultural Center. The Fick Fossil Museum houses world-class fossils and artifacts. You'll find Oakley at the hub of U.S. Highways 83 and 40 and I-70. Stop for the legend. Stay for the day. Discover Oakley.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
If you're searching for bulls that offer genetic flexibility, then come to the Dale Banks Angus Bull Sale, Saturday, November 19th, near Eureka, Kansas. Selling 140 bulls that have spent their lives in rough Flint Hills pastures. For 112 years, the Perriers have been focused on providing hard-working, balanced trait bulls for progressive cattlemen nationwide. Make plans to join us on November 19th or bid online at liveauctions.tv. Call the Perriers at 620-583-4305 or dalebanks.com.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. Oh, are we back? Sorry, I dozed off.
Wake up,
for a
Grandpa.
moment. Senior moment. So, anyway, you know, there have been a lot of great sportscasters through the years. One of my favorite, of course, was Dizzy Dean. And, you know, because he would always lead the crowd and take me out to the ball game for the seventh inning stretch. And, of course, his home run call was, you know, well-renowned. And anyway, and of course, then Jack Buck for the St. Louis Cardinals and all that. So it's
those were before my time, but I watched them on the History Channel, Frank.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I worked at Wren many years ago. And they carried the Cardinals, and so I worked at night so I could study, and because I was in college at the time. And of course, we carried the Cardinals, and so I got to listen to a lot of Jack Buck calling the Cardinal games.
I actually grew up listening to
In fact,
being a Cardinals fan.
I was running the Cardinal game the night that it went to like 24 innings, something like that. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I thought, who's still listening to this? I have to go to class in the morning. Anyway. Where were we going with this?
We were going to Mitch Holthus.
Yes.
And speaking of great announcers, and I don't want to steal the thunder from your segment, so I messaged Eldine, his dad, who is a good friend of mine, and told him we were doing this segment on Mitch. And Eldine, never at a loss for words, said he is a strong practicing Christian and almost always includes a witness in his presentations, has a tremendous memory, and prides himself in knowing the mascots of all the high schools in Kansas. He has tremendous empathy and a deep sense of caring. We requested no flowers for Kathy's funeral. This is Mitch's mother, who just passed away recently, yet received 32 sprays, 29 from working associates of his or his wife, Tammy. He has shown great love to me and Kathy, especially at this time, in spite of the fact that I worked my boys so hard here at home. His wife, Tammy, is an angel, and I can vouch for that. And he will take Eldine's place on the on the range board. When Eldine leaves the board, he will take his place. And he also has a part in the movie Home on the Range. So let's take a look at the amazing Mitch Holthus.
Mitch Holthus is the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs and is the longest tenured and most decorated play-by-play voice in franchise history. Following the NFL season, Mitch is a television play-by-play announcer for college basketball. His work has been featured on the ESPN family of networks, Fox Sports, and other national outlets. He primarily covers the Big 12 and the Missouri Valley Conferences, as well as the SEC. Holthus is a past recipient of the John Sanders Spirit of the Valley Award. Listeners throughout the Chiefs' kingdom join in with Holthus when he makes his signature call, "Touchdown Kansas City." Mitch also hosts the Hy-Vee Chiefs Insider television shows and various Chiefs website programming and MCs many Chiefs functions throughout the year. As an entrepreneur, Mitch writes, produces, and sells the Minute with Mitch radio and TV shows that air in season throughout the Chiefs Kingdom. Mitch is also a member of the Kansas Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame, and this January will be inducted into the Kansas State University Athletics Hall of Fame. In September of 2012, Holthus was awarded an Emmy for his video and online work by the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. In addition, Mitch was named the Kansas City Sports Journalist of the Year in 2010. He has served on the board of directors of the National Sportscasters and Sports Writers Association and is a past president of the organization. Mitch has 2 degrees from Kansas State University. Folks from Smith Center, Mitch's hometown, know that he came by his gift of gab honestly. His dad, Eldine, is a well-known and much-loved personality himself. Eldine and his wife, Kathy, raised their sons with a work ethic that has continued to serve them well. Mitch and his wife, Tammy, have 2 children.
Clyde Sutton, Ness City, Kansas. Lived on this place all my life. About a year and a half ago, got to where I couldn't saddle a horse. The pain was terrible. Read about stem cell. First it wasn't for me, then they started doing neck and back. Before I went down to Manhattan, the pain I was having from my neck down to my hand was curling my hand back. Some people had thought I almost had a stroke, and my shoulder had drawed up. I couldn't lift, I couldn't sleep, I really couldn't do anything, and was scheduled to be operated on, but was scared of the knife, I guess. Went and had it done. As you can see, I saddled a horse. I'm still building fence. Love to shoot a shotgun rifle, and I'm able to participate, not like I used to, but nevertheless I can do the things I used to do. And I want to personally thank the doctors, nurses, staff at Kansas Regenerative Medicine for the opportunity they give me to have my life back again.
Fort Wallace stood on the frontier in the midst of the Plains Indians Wars on a major stage route and rail line. Beside the 1865 stagecoach station, a modern museum with thousands of artifacts tell that story, like the fossil of a 40-foot plesiosaur is suspended from the ceiling. Located on Highway 40 midway between Hayes and Colorado Springs, the Fort Wallace Museum is as welcome a sight today as the fort itself in the 1860s. Discover the fightingest fort in the West. This segment brought to you by Kansas Grain Sorghum, growers working together. Find out more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
One of the joys we have is a good ranch dog, but those ranch dogs sometimes get into misadventures. This poem is entitled Lost and Found. I have a good dog. His name is Jake. Australian Shepherd is his make. He roams around our ranch with pride and goes with me when I walk or ride. One day he went with me to chore, as he's done hundreds of times before. I went to the granary to get some feed and proceeded with my usual deeds. That night I put dog food in Jake's bowl, but I didn't see a single soul. I wasn't worried about where he went. He was probably at Grandma's or chasing some scent. But the next day I didn't see Jake at all, and he didn't come when I yelled or called. By the 3rd day I was really worried. Around to all the neighbors we hurried. We called the shelter, put posts all around, but the results were the same. No Jake had been found. With a heavy heart, I went to chore, when I heard a scratching inside the granary side door. I found Jake in the corner bin, where, unbeknownst to me, that silly dog jumped in. Jake and I had a joyful reunion, and rejoined the family in happy communion. I've got to tell the neighbors, but it'll be kinda hard, 'cause the dog I was looking for was in my own backyard. Happy trails.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter. And here we are again. You know, people in the East and the big cities and all of that are amazed when they come west, when they come to Kansas, when they go to Montana, when they go to Wyoming, and they see the vastness, the wide open spaces. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I have a good friend that lives in New York, and we work together in Iowa. And he said, I was really freaked out when I first came out here because he said, I had never seen such vastness.
You know, and I've been in Europe a couple of times, and the wonderful thing about Europe, and England especially, and Germany, I mean, you know, but lots of pockets of Europe, is the intimacy. You know, it's the intimacy of the landscape and just the towns. The wonderful thing about America is its vastness, and we're at the center of that vastness. And
that was where I was going with that. We do have a lot of, we really do. We have a lot of state parks, national mm-hmm. parks, and in fact, our next story is going to be about one that's going to be happening.
The Nature Conservancy, which of course is a national organization, has purchased some land just in my neighborhood. It's just a few miles from the house, and I am blessed to live in an incredible landscape in western Kansas. So let's take a look at the amazing landscape of Little Jerusalem.
I'm Matt Bain. I'm the Smoky Valley Ranch Project Coordinator, and I went to work for the Nature Conservancy about 4 years ago, and it was really because I just love this place. These places, for me, have always been wild Kansas. These big open grasslands are really the last wild places in Kansas, and there's always been, for me, a sense of wonder about getting out onto those places and exploring them. The Nature Conservancy really seems to get that. And at the heart of what they're trying to do is try to conserve these places for future generations so that someday my great-grandchildren's great-grandchildren can go and experience what a wild place is right here in western Kansas. Little Jerusalem is really a unique landscape in Kansas. It's really one of a kind. It's the largest Niobrara chalk formation in the state of Kansas. It includes really important habitat for a number of species like ferruginous hawks, cliff swallows, Say's phoebe, and interestingly, Little Jerusalem has the single largest population of an endemic plant, Great Plains wild buckwheat. In cooperation with the seller, the Conservancy is able to take ownership of this incredible property and conserve it forever. The seller felt that the Conservancy was best suited to achieve their long-term vision for the property, which included public access and also just conservation of the unique resources at this place.
Well, we're out of time again, so I'm Frank.
I'm Deb.
And we'll see you somewhere around
Kansas.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
Hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy Street.